Ladies and gentlemen, hello, hello, hello. We covered in the last episode the power of relationship building, but I want to go back and do a second episode on relationship building. Why? Because I want to clear some things. When I use relationship building in relation to Nyaka organization, they are tied in fundraising and meeting all the presidents. Now I mentioned the president, then I gave you only one meeting Bill Clinton. President Bill Clinton was a huge honor. Bill Clinton is a former president of the United States. I've met him, one. I've met Jimmy Carter, former President Jimmy Carter. I've met Barack Obama as a president. I met George W. Bush as a president. Four presidents for a boy from Nyaka, not too shabby. But when I even met these presidents, I was not there to ask them for money. Many times when we think of relationship or meet people of influence, many people think that if you are running a non-profit organization and you are in presence of Bill Gates asking money. By the way, I've met with Bill Gates Sr. and I didn't ask him a single thing. You can say that's why Bill Gates doesn't support Nyaka, but I will tell you the relationship I built with Bill Gates Sr. was amazing and continues to bear fruits just because I believe I never went in greedy, ask for money. I take many volunteers. This is for you, Nyaka students, alumni, Nyaka village where I was born and raised, Nyaka staff, our community. When people walk into our communities, many of us think, oh, now I have this person, they making film on Cornerstone, they are filming, Matt Stabo has seen this, many of our volunteers have seen this. You will ask for their email, you ask for their phone, and the next thing they get is, oh, my goat died, can you please help me with the goat? That is a relationship turn off. People want to know you. Once they get to know you and you get to know each other, that's what a relationship means. A relationship is not a one-way street that you drive on the left. One is a provider and you're a receiver. A relationship is interchanging. You tell me what you are going through. I'll tell you what I'm going through. We play soccer together. I pass the ball to you. If every time I pass the ball to you, never pass it back, we don't have anything to talk about. But when you pass the ball to me and I pass it back to you, we get off the field, high five. Did you see that? That's why they call assists. Assists sometimes are way better than you running to try to score. When you meet people and you're building these relationships, go from the human side first. A person you met is as human as you. The blood that runs in their veins is red, regardless of the color that shows outside. No matter how rich somebody is economically, they are still human. They still have feelings. They still have humanity in them. They want you to know them as much as they want to know you. You can't be the one who only answers questions and not ask them. For you donors who go in communities and think because they are poor, they don't have their stories to share, it's a wrong approach. Sit on the table, drink the same juice, drink the same wine. Ask them about their children as much as they ask you about yours. I always tell people every person wants to talk about who they are, about their family, about where they live, and about the environment they are in. If I have a dog or a cat, I want to tell you their name and why we have it. If I don't have children at all, I want to tell you about my siblings. So relationships go deeper. Now I'm going to give you specific examples. Contrary to many fundraisers in this world who research and get to know about people before they meet them, I, Tracy Jackson Kaguri, I do it differently. I want to know you as a person before I know your worth or what you are about. I don't do that deep research about you. I want to know you first. Example, when I met Barry Siegel, I didn't run to the Google to find out what he's worth, where he's worth. I wanted to know the man himself. I got to know him, his children, his grandchildren, and his great grandchildren. I played soccer for many years with an amazing soccer player in our community who turned around to be an amazing businessman that I didn't know, and now is one of our he's the largest donor for Nyaka. If I had known about how wealthy he is, maybe I could have been intimidated to even dribble him or pass the ball, but I didn't know. But because we got to know each other as people playing soccer together and later got to give this money, we are such a big brother for each other, regardless of how much money he does. When I traveled with this gentleman, I noticed what he liked to eat for snack. People will write and buy diamonds and what for donors to thank them. I bring him that snack from Uganda each time, and he appreciates it, the fact that I noticed, but he loves this snack. So relationship will lead you to bigger things and more things. One more example. I won a Wisely's Global Citizen Award in 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a huge award. And I don't go around masquerading with all my awards and what and PhD honoraries and what. No. But that award was huge. While I'm winning that award in the VIP section, I meet this amazing man called Mark Mahoney. Mark Mahoney was a sponsor who had provided Green Dot, basically taking renewable, decomposable plastic that was given to all participants who were in VIP section. Mark says to me, "Oh my goodness, you young man are so impressive to come from where you came from and win a Global Citizen Award on a stage in New York, in Central Park. Beyonce was performing, Biden was there as vice president, Michelle Obama was there. Every artist, Coldplay was the band playing, Pearl Jam played, Usher, think of everybody was there. Mark Mahoney says to me, I am so impressed by what you are doing. This is my wife, Noel. This is my sister-in-law, Katie, and her husband. We are so impressed. We want to know more about what you do. After we were done with Global Citizen Festival in Central Park, we went to Momo Museum in New York for a reception. At the reception that night, ladies and gentlemen, a gentleman from Guggenheim, Scott Maynard, asked me what I was going to do with $100,000 I had won for Nyaka. I told him, look, Scott, I'm going to find somebody tonight who can match that money so we can have $200,000. And Scott looked at me, had already taken his little drink, and we are all enjoying ourselves. He goes, how are you going to find somebody to match 100,000? I said, now that you have asked me a question, maybe you should match this money. And he said, who tells you I even have capacity to match that money? I said, Scott, I was with you on the stage. I know you run Guggenheim. I don't do research on people, but man to man, you have asked me a question and I'm asking you to match this donation. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Maynard ended up matching 100,000 I had won that night to make $200,000 in one night for Nyaka. If I were you, I would be going, woo! Jackson, boy from Nyaka, did it in New York. Here we go. Relationship is a key. When it hits, sometimes you don't know. But go further. Mark Mahoney and Noel Mahoney, we left that concert. I followed up with an email 2 days after Mark responded and said, I'm running a very fast-paced business. I'm trying to sell, but this green dot is interested. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a 3D printer in Nyaka Village because of Mark Mahoney and his connections, because we spoke in that VIP section and he loved what Nyaka did, because he witnessed me match $100,000 in one night from Scott Maynard, principal investor for Guggenheim. Guggenheim is the biggest investing company in this world. If you are ever in New York, you can go to Guggenheim Museum. All of you Guggenheim employees, watch this. Your man, Scott Maynard, is the man. And we continue to stay in touch because of that night. But let me tell you something else that happened as a result of relationship and not being greedy, going after people to ask them money. We continued the relationship with Mark Mahoney and Noel Mahoney. This was 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in 2020. Nyaka has been in New York Marathon raising money since 2018. We have alumni who have run Nyaka Marathon who are more than 50 people. Some have run more than once, 50 include more than 50. Your man here, I might not look it, but I've run 3 marathons. I'm not a runner. I ran so I can have relationships with other runners, so I can sit and ask somebody to run for Nyaka and do something I have done myself. Matt, producer, has filmed me on. He has seen my pain on mile 26. He has seen my pain on mile 12. In 2019, when I ran the first marathon, I even had ABC filming while I am running. Passing, running, filming for the sake of children and grandmothers. That's the relationship I have with children and grandmothers. But how did we get there? When we left that Momo Museum, Mark Mahoney and I stayed in touch. He introduced me once again to his wife, to his sister-in-law, Katie. I visited Katie's office in New York on 5th Street. That's why it's called America Street. One of the biggest, busiest, baddest, coolest shopping areas on 5th Street in New York. If you are ever in New York, if you haven't been, go on 5th Street. And if you are nice to me, I'll introduce you to Katie. But what happened then, Mark became a board member for Nyaka. He went and talked to an amazing person called Sherry Henry. Mark told Sherry Henry, told her that I am serving on a board of an amazing organization. I need tips on how to be an effective board member. Mark had a relationship with Sherry. He went in his relationship bank and went and speak with Sherry. Sherry said to him, I would love to meet this man called Tracy Jackson Kaguri. Next time I was in New York, we went to dinner, put small organization, put a small dinner together. Matt was there, Camila, my cousin, was there, Mama Sherry, who that night became my American mama, caring for me, was there, Mark Mahoney, his wife. We were speaking about supporting Nyaka in multiple different ways, and Mama Sherry Henry asked me if Nyaka has ever registered as a charity to run in New York Marathon. Said we tried before, we failed. We had a former board chair, Jennifer Thompson, who ran it but could not get to run as a charity. A former chair, Amy Water, had tried it and ran as an individual but not as a charity. Sherry Henry, this was around November, early December, said, you know what? I may see. I know somebody. I will see if I can get you in. Ladies and gentlemen, New York Marathon charity slots are given out in April of each year. This was December of 2017. And 2018 marathon was coming up, everything was already closed. Sherry Henry apparently knew the founder and chairperson of New York Road Runners, George Hash. She went and called him and got Nyaka to be a charity for 2018 marathon. Should I repeat, relationships are a key. Sherry Henry, Mama Sherry, has known George Hash for more than 50 years. She has maintained a relationship with this man. Her daughter, Sherry Jr., had ran in the first marathon in 1970 when it started, and that relationship continued. And now, because she loves Nyaka, she went to Nyaka because Mark Mahoney lived in the same building and had a relationship with her, non-monetary relationship. She used her asset of relationship to get Nyaka into New York Marathon. 2018, we had 5 runners. We raised more than 50,000 US dollars net. 2019, I ran. We raised more than $100,000 net. That's 150. One relationship, one woman, combining with Mark Mahoney and his wife as coaches. 2019, when I ran. 2020, it was virtual marathon. Nobody ran in New York, but we ran in Michigan, raised money. Our team in Uganda ran in Yaka, raised money. And ladies and gentlemen, we have 5 New York marathon in Uganda. The only 5 in Yaka village by our runners led by Teacher Smith and Peter Smith and Jemba and Kato and 2 other, one young man who was at Yaka. They ran an entire 26.2 miles and they got registered on Strava, and New York Marathon from New York sent them their medals. Why? The relationship between Sherry and George Hash. Why? How did she get to us? A relationship between Sherry and Mark Mahoney and Noel Mahoney. In 2021, I ran 50th anniversary New York Marathon with 20 other amazing runners. 2022, 23 runners are running for Nyaka to raise money for the grandmothers and children because of relationship building. Now you have clear examples. Ladies and gentlemen, especially my Nyaka graduates and alumni, build relationships, build them without expectation. Let God be God. Let it be back and forth. Don't look at relationships as one-sided. Don't look at relationships as a piece to raise, to expect money from one person. What am I going to get from that person? When you sit down with me, get to know me, get to know my children, get to know my struggles. I get to know you. We build a relationship. If money gets involved later, it will be in additional. It won't be the key we start with. That is our nugget for today. Thank you for coming. Subscribe, share, make comments. TJK Shares is here. More episodes coming. Thank you to TJK team. Thank you to our producer. And for all of you who continue to subscribe, to share, continue to share your experiences. We love you. We care about you. God bless you.